Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into something that's incredibly important for thousands of people all across California: the fundamental rights of classified school employees. We're going to be drawing straight from the CSEA's, that's the California School Employees Association's, Know Your Rights Guide, to give you a really clear look at the protections you have. So let's just start with a big question, right? As a school employee, what are your most important rights? You know, the California Education Code can feel like a total maze. It's complex, it's dense, but knowing the basic rights that protect your job, your safety, and your well-being, that's absolutely essential. So let's dive in.
To make this all a bit easier to digest, we've broken it down into 4 key sections. We'll start with your paycheck and schedule, then we'll move into your time away from work, cover what makes a safe and fair workplace, and finally, we'll look at how your job and your voice are protected.
First up, Section 1, your paycheck and schedule. I mean, this is the foundation of any job, isn't it? It's all about the money you earn and the hours you put in.
Okay, this is the core principle, and it's so important. The Education Code is crystal clear. Your earned wages are your property. Once you've worked the hours, you are entitled to be paid in full for all that time. It's not a gift from the district, it's something you've earned, and it belongs to you, period.
Let's get really clear on the difference between regular time and overtime. The law is super specific about this. Any work you do that's over 8 hours in a single day or over 40 hours in a week, that legally counts as overtime. And here's the crucial part. You must be paid time and a half for that extra work. It's not optional, it's not a courtesy, it's the law.
So what happens if the district claims they overpaid you? Can they just snatch all that money back from your next paycheck? No way. The law gives you a really key protection here. After giving you due process, they can only deduct a maximum of 25% of your net earnings per paycheck. That rule is there specifically to protect you from a sudden and really damaging financial shock.
Okay, let's move on to Section 2. Your rights don't just stop when you're on the clock. They also cover your time away from work, which is, it's just critical for your health, your family, and your whole life outside of school.
You've actually got several big buckets of leave time, and it's so important to know they're separate from each other. For example, you get 12 days of sick leave every year. Now, if you get injured on the job, that's a completely different bucket of time. You're entitled to 60 working days of industrial accident leave. And on top of that, for major family or medical issues, you have up to 12 weeks of job-protected leave.
But what about when something urgent comes up that isn't really a sick day? Well, that's where personal necessity leave comes into play. You can use up to 7 of your sick days for things like dealing with an accident, or if you have to appear in court. You can even use it if you need some extra time for bereavement for a close family member.
And believe it or not, there are even more protections for those big life events. You have a right to unpaid pregnancy disability leave for up to 4 months. You can use your sick leave to get paid during 12 weeks of parental bonding leave. You're entitled to 5 days for bereavement. And if you get called for jury duty, your leave is fully paid. These are all there to support you when you really need it.
Okay, let's pivot to our third section, a safe and fair workplace. This is about your fundamental right to go to work every single day in an environment that is safe, both physically and psychologically. So what if you're asked to do something you truly believe is dangerous? You actually have a protected right to refuse unsafe work, but you have to follow some very specific steps. First, tell your supervisor about the hazard. Second, state your belief that it violates a safety standard. Third, and this is important, make it clear you're willing to do the job once it's made safe. And finally, offering to do other safe work in the meantime is a key step that really strengthens your protection.
Psychological safety is just as important. The legal standard for what makes a hostile work environment is conduct that is, and I'm quoting here, so severe or pervasive as to create an unreasonably uncomfortable environment. So we're not talking about a single offhand comment. We're talking about a pattern of behavior that fundamentally makes your working conditions worse.
So what does that actually look like? Well, unlawful harassment can include disrespectful remarks about someone's gender or race or religion. It could be offensive touching, constant leering, or even just posting offensive images. It can even be bullying that's motivated by someone's age or a disability. Recognizing these behaviors is the absolute first step to stopping them.
This brings us to our final and, maybe our most critical section, protecting your job and voice. These are the rights that give you long-term career security and a real say in what happens at your workplace.
If you're a permanent employee, you have to know about Skelly rates. This is your constitutional right to due process before any discipline is imposed. It means the district can't just fire you on the spot. They have to give you written notice of the charges, they have to let you see the evidence against you, and they have to give you a real opportunity to respond.
Your rights during a layoff are also protected by a really specific timeline. Notice generally has to be given by March 15th. And crucially, layoffs are based on seniority, not favoritism. And if you are laid off, you hold on to your reemployment rights for a full 39 months, giving you first priority if your old job classification opens back up.
So, we've covered rights about your pay, your time off, your safety, and your job security. These rights are powerful, for sure. But a right that's just on paper, that isn't enough. The big question is, how are they actually enforced?
The answer is collective action. Your union, CSEA, is the main way these rights are enforced. It protects your right to organize without retaliation. It provides representation when you're facing discipline. It negotiates the very contract that sets your wages and hours. And, so importantly, it enforces those rights through formal grievance procedures and by filing charges when the district tries to make illegal changes.
And this isn't just about individual disputes. It all ties back to a bigger collective mission: to improve the lives of our members, students, and community. Protecting the rights of school employees creates a more stable, more professional, and more positive environment, which, at the end of the day, benefits everyone. So, we'll end where we began, but with a new perspective. Your rights, just like your wages, are a form of property. Your job is a huge personal and financial investment. So the final question for you is, are you actively protecting that investment by staying informed, knowing your rights, and staying engaged? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.